Hi, I'm Richie.
I'm Jeremy.
And this is Week in Review with Richie and...
Jeremy.
And this is episode...
20.
20! Means nothing. Still nothing fun yet to do between 18 and 20.
Well, you got out of your teens.
Yeah, but you
20.
still can't do anything fun. But...
You're living on your own, probably, hopefully.
Why would you want to do that in this economy? What's wrong with you?
It's true.
Stay home.
Right.
Stay home. Mooch off your parents
Live in
as
your
long as
mom's
you
basement.
can. But next week is episode 21, and we're going to have a special celebrity guest next week here on the show. So tune in. I'm not going to tell you who it is. You're going to have to tune in. He's been in movies. He's been on stage.
Yep.
He's just tune in next week for a special guest for our big 21st episode birthday extravaganza.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that one.
I am too. I can't wait to see what happens. It's going to be eventful.
But we have a pretty cool guest this week.
We do have a guest this week.
A local guy.
A local
I see him all the
comedian.
time.
Comedian. Tim Fouch.
It's not a comedian. I'm a comic. Comedians make money. They get paid. Okay? I do not get paid.
So you don't pass a hat around?
No, I do not.
So, Fouchy.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show, man. I don't know if some people don't know who you are. Can you kind of explain what you were doing? I mean, you're a retiree now, right?
Yes, I am. But I'm looking for a part-time job, which
what
means
does that mean?
What are you retired from?
I've had several different jobs, but I retired from, I worked in the water wastewater business. I worked for the City of Circleville. I worked at Kenworth for a little bit. I just did whatever it took to make money to raise a family. I retired from Mars up in Columbus,
Okay.
the dog food factory and the candy business. And then I worked for the City of Circleville again with the police department, and I retired from the municipal court security.
Okay, yeah.
And I've got a little bored over the winter, and I need a part-time job, and that is working my hours on the days that I want to work, and there are not a lot of them out there.
I know so many guys that have retired, and it's basically a year before they're like, you know what, I'm bored. I want to do something.
You got to have a plan or some structure. I mean, it was so, oh my gosh, I'll get to sleep in every day. And I should have done it in the spring instead of winter, because I retired right before Christmas, and that was cool, New Year's and football and everything. But and then winter was brutal. It was just you know how our winter was. It was awful.
Yep.
And I just sat around and did nothing. I've had depression on and off my entire adult life, and it really got bad this time. I've had worse ones, but I'm coming out of it, and had a lot of help. And the comedy has really helped me. And I got interested in it when COVID was going on. And I started following Lori Graves. And I don't know if you've ever heard of Lori Graves, but she's like the big comic. She got the thing going down in Ross County, and she travels everywhere.
Yeah, I want to get Lori on this show. I love that. I love her. I talk to her fairly often. And Lori, you need to come up here to Circleville when next time you come up here and see us.
And she will. She would do that. So I just started going to some of
In
her
other words,
shows.
you just got called out.
I started going to some of her shows.
And
I met some of her comedian friends because they make money. And but anyway, and then she offered this class at OU down in Chillicothe, and I thought, well, you know what I got to lose? It's 2-3 weeks, and then you got to get up in front of an audience and do your thing. So I did that, and I just kind of got hooked, and I made friends, and
You caught the bug.
Yeah, I caught the bug. And to me, what better thing to do during COVID or all this other weird stuff that's going on in the whole world is nothing better than to laugh.
yeah.
And a lot of times you laugh at yourself. You make jokes about yourself. And it's not really cool to go up and make jokes about, somebody in the audience unless they start on you first.
That's not true. I love making jokes about Jeremy.
Okay. But there should be nothing off limits as far as comedy goes. I mean, there is.
And you see that in comedy, because I watch a lot of comedy. I'm a big comedy fan, and you see that in comedy. And then once in a while, people try to pull it out and try and get offended by it. But people are like,
Right.
"There's no offense. You can't offend people in comedy. That's not how it works."
Well, And but you do have to be careful on what jokes you tell and where you tell them, because I told a couple jokes here a couple weeks ago, and there's one particular guy. He's from Columbus. His name is Miko, and he's an African American, a black guy, however you want to look at it. And I cracked on him with some jokes, and you know what? He smiled and laughed, and he gave it back to me about 100 times as hard as what I gave it to him. But some of these guys are not going to be that nice, and they don't even have to be of a different race or whatever. Some people get offended. I was at a open mic one time, and someone told a joke, and the headliner of the evening was offended by this joke that another comedian had told. And it's like, you're a comedian, you should be able to handle anything. And they hadn't told it about them. They had just told a joke about something that they were sensitive about, and I just didn't think that was very professional.
Yeah. So tell me about this. Tell me about like this gambit of open mic stuff because that's what it's called, right? It's open micing,
Open
and
mic.
you're doing that a lot in Chillicothe, right?
Open mic is anybody at all that wants to get up in front of people and take a chance of bombing or whatever. That's brave enough to do it. That's the big thing. Is the first step is just getting up in front of people. Which
Sure.
some people hate. They can't handle it. They're nervous or whatever. And I get nervous every now and then. But anybody at all that wants to tell a joke can come up and tell a joke. They usually limit you to 3 or 5 minutes, and that seems like a long time when you first start doing it. But after you start doing it, it's like, man, I wish they would let me go longer. Actually, last night, I have never been a feature at a open mic, and because I usually like to go first or second and get it over with and then relax and watch the rest of the comics. And he comes up and says, hey, he says, you want to close us out? And I said, what do you mean? He says, you want to be the headliner, the feature? I said, well, yeah, I'll try. I said, how long you want me to go for? He said, well, try to do at least 10. And anyway, I ended up doing like 13 minutes, and I could have went a little bit longer. But, yeah, it's...
Nice. Very nice.
Where do you come up with the content? I mean, because I'm gonna guess that every week that you go and you're doing open mics and stuff, you get some of the same people there, so you gotta come up with new content, right?
You don't have to.
You don't have to.
No, that's the purpose of an open mic. You try to perfect what you know so that you can go somewhere else and tell a joke. Because there's the same people that goes there every week,
Sure.
every week. And there's guys that I know that's went in there and they've told the same jokes for 3 years. But if you're going to the same place to an open mic, you really can't expect a whole lot of new jokes unless you have other people coming in. Because there's always that handful, not a handful, but a group that go to certain ones every week all the time. And you're going to hear these jokes that they tell over and over and over, and then they'll mix something in. Once they get comfortable with what they know, then they say, okay, I'm going to try this one, see how this one goes over. But as far as entertainment, you can't beat the price. Costs nothing to get into an open mic, nothing at all.
And you said they have 2 of those in Chillicothe now, right?
We're having, Frank DeMint, he's another big name around South Central Ohio. He goes all over the country. Frank is crazy. He will drive 100 miles to do 3 minutes, just
Wow.
to get his name out there. He'll drive 100 miles to do 5 minutes. But he also is making money. He gets paid. He's been headlining. He's been a feature. He's been a host. But he's going to make it one of these days, and I really hope he does. You probably wouldn't recognize it. He is a former doctor. Very intelligent man, but he has a speech impediment, which is half of his show.
Right.
And he makes fun of himself.
Sure.
But the content that comics get, or comedians, usually just comes from things that happen every day, and you can make a joke out of it.
Sure.
And a lot of it is about themselves, even if they've had a addiction problem, or they were abused as a child or even as an adult. Somehow they can make something funny out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, you should be able to make funny out of a joke out of anything, and sometimes some guys tell some really dark humor,
Right.
and it's like, wow, man, I should not have laughed at that because I'm going to go to hell. But but it was funny.
Right.
You could make jokes about cancer or death, or I've had a guy.
Or Jeremy's T-shirts, which you're not wearing a fun T-shirt today. What are you wearing there? Pickaway County Park Department?
Yeah, I'm repping those guys today. I really enjoyed.
That's because Craig came by and gave you a shirt, didn't he?
Yeah, he gave me a shirt.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's so nice of him. What size is that?
I'm not gonna talk about that. It shrunk in the wash.
How many T-shirts you got? Because I bet I got you beat.
How many T-shirts do I have in my closet?
At all, total. How many?
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't. Yeah, I'm not a. My wife has got like 3/4 of our closet taken out.
Oh yeah. Well,
So she's got way more than I do.
I live alone, so I can have as many T-shirts as I want, and as many closets as I want. I think I've got 4.
Yeah.
Not
So,
counting the basement.
And that's the other side of you that we need to talk about, because I'm a big yard sailor, because I collect.
Oh, I heard you're in favor of this yard sale ordinance they're putting in.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
I have mixed feelings on the yard sale. I see Jeremy at yard sales a lot.
Yeah, because I collect a lot of '80s stuff, so I'm a big '80s fan, and I've even got some stuff from you before.
Yeah,
I told Jeremy I was gonna throw that at you. That the fact that you're a big supporter of this ordinance.
No, I'm really not for it.
No,
But,
I don't blame you.
I go to tons of yard. I'm not a real collector, and this year has been. I've said, you know what? Because I'll buy things and resell them and make a little bit of money on the side. So instead of having a yard sale, I do that. But I'm usually looking for 99% of the things I get at a yard sale is not for me. Somebody will say, "Hey, I need a toaster," or "I need a microwave," or what. I'm on to look at it. It's a challenge for me. It's the thrill of the hunt. The grandkids, I buy them clothes, for pennies on a dollar. People don't realize it, and that's why I don't take any of my guy friends with me, because they see a yard sale. It's like, oh, it's just a bunch of baby clothes and this, that, toys, and I'm not going to stop. And it's like, all right, I go by myself, because I look at everything. And my one daughter, she just had a new baby, and she got 2 boys, and she said, "Dad, I can't remember the last time I had to buy clothes for these kids." So I think I'm helping them. They don't have to spend that money, because I'll bring them in a bag of yard sale clothes, and I don't buy junk. I buy nice ones. Some of them even with tags on them.
I find some really nice
name
clothes out
brand
there.
Stuff. I found a Michael Kors winter coat for a young adult last week at a yard sale. It had a price tag on it of $79. I paid $5 for it, and it's brand new. It's hard to pass stuff up like that. But, I take them a bag when I get done with my sale, and it cost me $300 at Kohl's or somewhere. And I take it serious. I got a list already for what's coming up this weekend. So, them limiting the yard sales it won't really affect me, but it will people that don't maybe take it as seriously as we do.
Right.
So why do you think that they're trying to limit the yard sales?
Well, I guess there's really one yard sale. Maybe there might be a couple of them around town that have them very frequently.
Like once a week or every weekend or twice a month?
Every holiday weekend for sure. And I would say the one particular yard sale that kind of got council's attention, and someone brought it to their attention, I'd say he probably has maybe 8 or 10 a year. I don't know, maybe that might be pushing a little bit.
And does that go on for multiple days, or is that just one day?
It's usually no longer than Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
So according to ordinance, you can it's a full 4 days. That includes setup time and breakdown time.
No, I'm saying this person that sparked this problem with that. Are they doing it frequently? Is it a yard sale, or are they trying to run a business and call it a yard sale? What's the whole thing?
Well,
it's probably crossing the border of semi-business, is what I would say.
This particular,
and I think that's why. I think that's why the council is kind of aiming at it, is because you have some people that are in their own homes and they're selling stuff on their property like a business, but they're in a residential area, So I can see that side of council, but then I see the other side that you probably go to half a dozen yard sales a week, just like I do,
half a dozen
at least. I'm saying on a bad week. But what I'm saying is I see so much community in yard sales. I enjoy going, and everybody wants to talk.
Yep.
You get to see people's stuff, and they talk about it, and you know, the prized possession that they want to sell now and finally hand it off. It's yard sales are a good time.
It
Well,
is.
then I have a question. If somebody's selling their boat or their car in their yard, would that be considered a yard sale?
I don't know. I don't know. I think the biggest thing, and you said this off camera because we talked about this a little bit, is the 2-month thing, right?
Right. They're wanting to do. You can have 4 a year, and they have to be 2 months apart. Which to me, I think they need to amend that. If they want to go with the 4 a year, that's fine. But yard sale season is May, June, July, August.
That's exactly what I thought when they talked about having, we can have one every season. Who's having one in the wintertime? I mean,
Nobody.
once in a while you see a couple of them, but you don't really see too many.
I have found yard sales every day of the week. You know, I've found them on Mondays before, Tuesday, whatever. I have been to yard sales pretty much every month because somebody's always going to have some kind of, and it might be inside or whatever. But for the most part, you can't count on March or April for a yard sale because of the weather. So unpredictable. September, October, kids are back in school. There's a little smattering of them September, October, but by November they're pretty well done.
Mm-hmm.
So if they want to have 4, limit it to 4, let them do it between May and August.
Yeah, I
Or
agree.
whenever they want to. If they
But
want to have,
I'm confused. Now, you guys both know I'm not a political person. I don't claim political parties. I'm not up to date on political party nonsense and whatnot. But I do understand that this is a Republican county. Am I right?
Yep.
And am I wrong for my understanding that Republicans are supposed to be less government, less rules, less government reach, less control? Or do these people who that are elected that are claiming to be Republican just claiming to be Republican so they get elected because this is a Republican county? I'm confused because none of this makes sense to me, and this is also one of the reasons why I don't follow politics because none of this shit makes sense.
Well, you're gonna make me put my reporter hat on now.
Oh, please do that, sir. The Jeremy Newman of the Saturday Post. Go ahead, please.
You know, you say that, you know, and typically Republicans are more free rights, and you see that. But the thing
not
is,
here in Circleville.
But when you talked about solar fields, you know, we had the commissioners, Circleville, they both wrote letters against it to the Power Siding Board, and that's one of the reasons why that, you know, that was pushed back. You know, and it's the same thing with the data centers.
Yeah, but now we're talking about your individual rights at your own properties and for a yard sale, not for a business, but for a yard sale.
Huh?
I mean, let alone
Like it's an HOA, right?
Right. I mean, is that seriously? Are they trying to turn the city of Circleville into one giant HOA?
But to be fair,
But wait a second. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold that thought one more second. Yard sales take place typically over the weekend, right?
Correct.
So the city shuts down. The administration, code enforcement, shuts down at 4:00 on Friday and doesn't reopen till 7:00 or 8:00 Monday morning.
Right.
So who's going to enforce that if they're not working?
right?
There's gonna
Well,
be
some-
like so what do you do? Hey,
I think some of the guys
you're
work on
gonna
the
call the
weekends,
police
but-
department. The police department's gonna take a record or a note of it. Monday morning comes, the code enforcer gets it. The person already packed up their yard sale. It's irrelevant at that moment in time. So maybe then they need to hire somebody to work on the weekends.
No,
If they're gonna put something out there like that, I mean, just because what are you doing? You're creating more headaches and nonsense, and you won't be doing nothing to enforce anything anyway, so what does it really matter?
Well, it's my understanding that the complaint's going to be going to the service department. So on the weekend, they're closed. So you might, I don't know if there'll be a voicemail or you can leave, but then people would probably call the police, and some dummy is going to call 911 to report somebody having a yard sale when they're not supposed to. You know, people.
Or just call in and just because they're pissed off at their neighbor and say,
Exactly.
my neighbor had a yard sale this weekend,
Right.
meanwhile they didn't.
You know what? The one neighbor's a Democrat, and the other guy's a Republican. Pissed off because having yard sale. I don't know if that's the situation. It could be. I think it
Yard
is.
sale wars.
But then the service department is going to send out someone, and they're either going to
But they don't work on the weekends.
issue them a citation on the following Monday or whenever during business hours. I don't know.
You know, it'd be funny if he went out there to like shut down the yard sale and found something cool and bought it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
it's just once again, it's another thing that I don't think that they think things fully through before they do things. I think it sounds to me, and this is me outside looking in, it sounds to me that the city has an issue with one person and they don't know how to handle or deal with the one person, so they want to try to affect everybody to try to deal with one person.
Right, and nobody ever complained except for, I don't know, supposedly one or two people. But you know how it always goes: the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Right,
So,
I heard of I don't know where it was, but cars parking in ditches on 188 in people's driveways. So then why if that's going on, why isn't the police department going out there and towing cars? Why isn't the city not going out there and having vehicles towed? Why not? Why aren't you doing something for the problem that supposedly is arised that you're creating this ordinance for? I have no idea. That's why I don't get involved in politics.
I've been to that sale numerous times, and you probably have too. I've never seen any issue with traffic or whatever, and he'll even say, come up, park in the yard. Now, when it gets to parking in the neighbor's yards, yeah, I could see if that is an issue.
Sure.
I have never seen that, but supposedly it happened. And he did nothing
But
to
that's
stop it.
but you know, that's property rights and stuff. And you
Right.
know,
But
if
wait,
you're not parking
now-
in my yard, then
Now, wasn't
you
there
can-
an issue with somebody who was running a business out of their front lawn selling flowers?
Yep,
Yeah, we're on Garden Parkway.
yep.
I think they're still doing it
I think they're still doing it.
because they didn't have an ordinance or anything.
What is going on with this city and city council, the administration and council? What is going on? Can somebody please tell? You can't write this. This is some great comedic shit right here. You can't make this shit up.
You can make, you
Like,
can,
you're
I
actually
saw a
using
light
this
bulb
as
go off.
material on
Yeah,
stage.
yeah. I did, I got
But
into
to
it a
be
little
fair,
bit.
listen. To my
let's go.
point, to be fair, you know, Grove City has an ordinance against yard sales. You can only have 2 a year.
Yeah, but Grove
You know.
City is 90% HOAs.
True.
So
And Chillicothe has an ordinance against yard sales. I think in the city of Chillicothe, you actually have to pay for a yard sale.
I think there's some areas that you have to get a permit, which
Yep.
according
You have to pay
our-
for the permit to
according
get
to
a
our
yard
council,
sale.
there's not going to be any permit thing
For now.
going on for now.
But who knows what's going to change in 5 years, 2 years, 3 years?
And in certain areas, you are not allowed to have a yard sale at all. Now, I don't know what would happen if somebody throws up a yard sale. Were they going to send the cops and arrest them? I don't know. It's crazy. They're going to have the yard sale police out there next thing you know. Somebody cruise.
We need to make T-shirts up and just give
You know
out
what we
to
need
people.
to do? We need to bring back the big sale that we used to have at the Pickaway County Fairgrounds.
You mean the big flea market?
The flea market.
Well, yeah, of course. We talked about that earlier. That
Yeah.
there's someone that bought
Yeah.
some property out
we
on
should
Lancaster
have
Pike.
Ben do it. Ben Slichter have it
Slichter.
right there in the old Big Lots parking lot.
Absolutely,
It'd be a
absolutely.
great place for it. Just kind of lock down an area. You know, it's a business, so they can run it because this ordinance is only for residential. It's not for businesses. So you could actually build a whole thing off of this.
I don't know, but
I like flea markets. Flea markets are fun. To
I
walk
like
around.
all that stuff.
flea markets I like them, but they're not as fun as yard sales because the flea market guys, you can't really dicker on the price with them a whole lot. I mean, they got a little bit of room.
Right, because
wiggle
they
room,
bought it at a yard
but-
sale, and they
Right,
they bought it
exactly.
last week at a yard sale. They're trying to flip it this week.
But at a yard sale, you can haggle with them.
Right.
I mean, you know.
And that's fun. It's not even anything about the price a lot of times. It's just fun. It's
Right.
just that's part of yard sale.
And I've met so many people at yard sales, and sometimes it just lifts me up when I'm really like if I'm depressed and I go out and I talk to people, it makes me feel good.
See, you rich people. See, where I come from, we didn't have yard sales because we didn't have yards. We had garage sales because we live in the city.
The garage sale, yard sale, same thing.
We live in the city. We set the stuff in the driveway and outside the garage.
And then somebody
that
stole
was,
it.
That was it. You had to watch the stuff.
It really helps me. Even it helps me financially. And I don't know about you or how much thrifting or yard selling you do it, but man, I basically all my clothing and everything comes from a yard sale or thrift store, and it's like pennies on a dollar. Nice. That gives me more money to spend on something else that I like.
I used to have a system when I used to go up to Columbus, Ohio, every Thursday.
He makes it sound like Columbus, Ohio is so far away. When
Well,
I used to go up to Columbus,
Well, I used
Ohio.
to do the whole circle And I would hit
thrift
every yard
stores.
of thrift stores, and I'd hit every thrift store until they kind of changed their way that they did things. Because you used to be able to find some really great deals.
Well, you still can.
Yeah.
But you got to be a little more patient. And there's certain ones that would give you discount, like 50% on a Wednesday or the last Tuesday of the month. You get the X amount off. Even Goodwill used to have their different colored tags. And the price today is anything 20% off red tags, 30% off yellow, whatever. Goodwill doesn't do that anymore, and some of their prices are ridiculous. But you can still go in there and find some good deals.
Yeah, me and my wife used to do it as a date day. We used to go and
I did the same thing.
I'm high class. So
All right, so moving right along, what do we got going on in the weekend review stuff?
Wait a minute, I want to talk about yard sales
Just keep
forever.
talking. Just
No,
a little bit more.
no. We gotta go. This is the weekend review. We can't spend all the time on yard sales.
Well, let me end it on this. Then.
All right, go
I
ahead.
got one yard sale joke, and I got a couple yard sale jokes.
Oh, he's got a
about-
joke. Go ahead.
Okay. But anyway, I said, you know what? You got to be careful when you go to these yard sales. Some real weirdos out there. Someone tried to buy my pants when I set them on the table because I was trying on underwear. They tried to buy my pants when I was trying on underwear. Sometimes you get a groan, sometimes you get a laugh. You laughed and you just looked at me like, what the hell?
No, that's good. That's funny. That's funny. Anyway, speaking of Pickaway County Fairgrounds, the Pickaway County Fair is going on right now.
Pickaway County Fair, rides and attractions, non-stop actions. Goats, fire trucks, fireworks. I don't know.
Some people are just anti-Pickaway County Fair. I love the Pickaway County Fair. I think it's a great place. Like, I'm not really as much of a...
What year did you come here?
I come here when the barns were bad.
No, I know, but what year did you come to Circleville?
15, maybe?
Okay, so go back further. That fairgrounds was packed. Like, we're talking packed with people. When I first came here, that fair was packed with rides, packed with booths, packed with people. Before the whole renovation, when it was shitty, but it was packed every day and night. Like, packed, right? Mm-hmm. Like, it was.
I mean, I grew up here. I was born in Pickaway.
Right, when in 06 when I came here, so 06, 07, 08, 09, it was packed.
But it's getting to be like, going to a ball game or something. I think the fair admission is it's $15.
I think it's $10 or something. That's
Yeah,
what somebody was telling me.
10 before 4 o'clock,
Okay.
and then after that it's 15. If you got a family of 3 or 4 kids and mom and dad, there's $100.
Right.
And
But
that's
that
not
comes with
counting
the
food.
show, too. And that's one of the big things about the Pickaway County Fair, too, is that every night, like tonight, they have motocross.
Yeah, but
and that's great. That's good
slow down a
times.
sec. But that's been going on even back when I came here.
Sure.
So that's not something new that they added. It's not that they. I mean, the amphitheater thing that they have doing that's new that they add, the things that they add. But like the shows that all take place with the grandstand, with the motocross and the tractor pulls and the demolition derby, all that stuff was still taking place back 20 years ago. It's not nothing new.
Before the Crash Derby, they had the cars that race. What is that called? Motocross? Is that what that's called? Mm-hmm. Well, that's
And
the
they
best
also had that
one.
with the bikes too.
Autocross.
Autocross. That's the
Autocross,
best.
the
That's
motocross
the
with the
best one.
bikes.
I think that one's on Thursday night.
I've
That's
never
the
been to
best
that.
one.
I love the tractor
That's
and
the
truck
best
race.
one, man.
Really, it's on Thursday night.
Because they hit each other, because they could still hit each other like Crash Derby. And you'll get them every time there's somebody that rolls. There's always a fire. This is
pretty
redneck fun, but I tell you what, it's
is.
great fun. I love that one. That one better than the Crash Derbies. The Crash Derbies are okay.
So that'll
but
be this
Thursday. Thursday. Yep. And then Friday is a Crash Derbies, I think. Is it
Friday's
Friday?
the tractor and truck pull.
For those of you watching the show right now, the Pickaway County Fair, by the time you're watching this, has already taken place.
That's true. That's true. Because we post this on Friday or Saturday. But Saturday night they'll have the Crash Derbies.
Yes.
And this will show the
Demolition Derby.
The Demolition Derby. And that's a good time too.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, it's always fun watching that. I love watching the Demolition
yeah,
Derby.
but the car one, race one, it's almost like Crash Derby. It's great.
I've never been to it.
Yeah, you'll have to go to that one. Trust me, you don't miss that one. That's Thursday night. I never miss that one.
But usually I'll go when I was a kid or I was younger. Yeah, I went every day to the fair. But now it's like I just go to the tractor pull.
Now the new fairgrounds looks nice, and I heard they're getting ready to start on the next phase of it. I seen that Brian Stewart put
Brian
something
Stewart just that was part of his of the
capital funds.
Yeah, capital funds is that he's like $500,000, and they're gonna tear down that Akron building, right there. That the last building that's
the one that's in the front that has the cow
correct,
in it.
and they're gonna rebuild that. That's part B.
That's $500,000.
Well, it's gonna be more than that, but
And the grandstand's still the original grandstand.
but
too.
they decided to keep that.
Okay.
So they decided to keep that. It was in good enough shape that they decided to, and it was big enough. They felt that they were going to keep that. So, yeah.
No, the new
But you know
fairgrounds.
where all that parking is down south, where the light is and stuff. That's part of that plan and all that stuff. So it's going to change a little bit, but it's going to be a bigger.
The new fairgrounds looks great. Just saying that years ago, that was so much bigger.
Right.
Bigger.
I mean, I get the cost, and I'll argue with you guys a bit. I get the cost, that it's more expensive now and stuff like that. But something had to be done.
Yeah.
Because I remember going there and like literally the rain, and you got kids there that are showing animals and stuff, and those barns were literally leaking like sieves.
Leaking, and it
was awful. It was
everything plugged in.
It
The
was
fans
10,
trying to
10
go because it's
15
hot
years
as hell. Yeah, I mean,
too late.
Yeah, it was an electrical nightmare, and I'm surprised, knock on wood, nothing ever happened where there was water pouring on outlets and starting fires and cooking animals.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad enough the heat.
Speaking of the old Pickaway County Fair, they had the auditorium. Remember the old auditorium?
Yeah,
that was the
Coliseum.
last one in the auditorium before they tore it down.
It was Coliseum, yeah.
Yeah, I went in there and I did a walkthrough on side a post, and I was the very last person before the ball hit it. That's kind of cool.
I think the last time I was there, when it was still
You gotta
up,
hang your hat on something.
they had a wrestling show or a wrestling thing there
Yeah.
years ago. And they used to have auctions. And, yeah, it was pretty cool. I got good memories of the Pickaway County Fairgrounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
And the flea market was great.
Yep. And why they ever stopped out, I think they just made it unaffordable to rent. What's it called, Heritage Hall?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's very cheap to rent that. I don't know what the price is, but I've heard people complain about it. Of course, people complain about everything. But
I bought an original sand speeder, Star Wars sand speeder in the box, brand new in the box there.
at the flea market?
The flea market still have it. It was mint, perfect mint. I couldn't believe it when she was selling it. She was just like
Here we're going back into yard sales and flea markets again.
Yeah,
You
I
can't
bought
get
it,
off
dude.
that
I still
stuff.
have it. It's immaculate and it's perfect.
I still
think I
have
paid
my
like
Optimus Prime in the box.
I know, that's cool stuff. That's what I'm saying. That's why flea markets are
Oh,
amazing.
I find cool stuff. I don't just limit myself. And I make a route out because I read meters for the City of Circleville. I read water meters for Earnhardt Hill. So I know all and I can pick out the yard sales and I can go in order. I don't just drive around randomly. But then when I go out of town, I'm driving around randomly. But I'll go to Pataskala, Grove City, Canal Winchester, anything within 50 miles. If they're having a community sale, I'll go.
So we're talking about yard sales again.
What's going on else in the weekend review?
Hold on, I got one question.
Oh, my Lanta.
I'm gonna see what his opinion is. How do you know it's gonna be a good yard sale when you roll up? How do you know it's gonna be a good yard sale?
Well, you don't really know, but I mean, if you were up to a yard sale and there's one card table sitting out there, it's like, But you go look anyway. But sometimes it's just like at the one on Northridge Road. You never know what you're going to find at that guy's place. Seriously, you don't know.
Yeah, because he does a lot of storage locker stuff.
And I have bought things at a yard sale that was not even in the yard sale. I just got to talking to the people that was having it, and it's like, well, yeah, I think I got one of them in the basement or in the garage I used to have. And I seriously have, and you just never know what you're going to come out with. And there's some days I load my car up, and I go home and unload the car, and I'm back out on the road, and I'm buying more stuff, and it's just great.
So yeah, I do the same thing. I'll be like, you got anything that's from 1980? Because I'm a 1980s collector. So speaking of that, guys, if you have anything that's 1980s, hit me up.
Okay, but my house is like yard sale antiques and
Anyway, moving along.
moving along.
I love this. This is the first time I got you a little aggravated. I like that.
Let's go! The yard sales.
Have you ever been to a yard sale?
Yeah, I've been to yard sales.
You go to tons
we used to
of
have
them.
garage sales, and I used to hate them as a kid.
Well,
because I have to lug everything out of the garage and
but
put it all out,
having them
and then
is no
sit
fun.
there and put them all away.
Having them is no fun, but going to them is great. Because if you have them, then you got to dicker around with guys like Jeremy and me that are trying to talk you down.
That's how I feel now.
And I don't really talk. I'll ask if they want to take a little bit, but I'm not. I don't lowball them. If they got something for $10, I say, I'll give you $2. It's like, no, I don't do that. I'll just say, hey, you take any less for this? And they'll say, well, yeah, I'll take 8 or 9 or whatever. Or if I buy a whole great big armload of stuff, I said, all right, give me a deal on this. And they'll say, $25, it's all yours.
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, I'll walk away with it. And usually I will find one thing on my yard sale venture that day that I can sell and make enough money to pay for everything else I bought that day, which is very cool.
Yep. I agree with that. Anyway, moving on.
That's about time.
Because he's going to lose his mind.
Yeah, let's
over
go
here,
to something
which
else.
is hilarious. All right.
I'm taking
Arts
Richie
Around
yard
is looking
sale.
for photos. They're collecting stuff for America 250, and they're looking for old photos of architecture in Pickaway County.
So
old
why don't
barns.
they just go to the Geological Museum?
I think they're looking
thing
for
over on
other stuff.
Court
They're
Street?
looking for stuff that's the hidden gems that nobody's seen.
Oh, what are they
already.
paying? How much?
And they're going to
How much they
put
paying?
They're not paying anything.
Oh,
But they're gonna.
but they want the gem.
They're gonna give them
But
back.
they don't want to pay for the gem.
And they're gonna put them in and show them off. I think that's really cool.
And where are they doing that
At the Arts Around
Okay.
thing right there in downtown Circleville.
But we don't know for sure exactly what they're looking for. Could be.
Well, they're looking for like
They don't know what they're
they're
looking for.
looking
It
for
sounds
old
like.
farms. They're looking for like structures, pictures of people. Just
Of
something.
the past 250 years
Yeah,
that show the area.
yeah.
What if it doesn't show the area?
What was it gonna say? Sky.
I mean, it's an old picture.
Right. They're looking for the stuff that matters.
Well, everything matters.
They're looking for the picture of this barn, which is on this farm, which used to be owned by Joe so-and-so back in 1820 or whatever, how far back, and it's now owned by the such and such family. And it's still there, so maybe that kind of thing. I don't know.
I don't know. What else we got?
So, Danbarry Cinema down in Chillicothe.
Chillicothe.
Do you know that they have a movie theater down there?
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
been to that movie.
Some
theater
people don't know.
before.
My wife swore to me. I had to take her to it.
Really?
She didn't believe that there was a movie theater
Yeah.
downtown.
It's
I've
been
been
there
to it
forever.
twice.
Well, it was closed down for a little while,
Oh, okay, but then it reopened.
and then it reopened
Did
with,
it close
with
down-
new owners
Did it
and
close
stuff.
down
Like,
during COVID?
yes, that's
think it
that's
did.
when it closed
But yeah,
down.
I love it.
And
But
then
all
we didn't.
movie theaters were closed during COVID.
Well, no, it didn't reopen.
It did now.
And then they got new owners
And they
and
show
then
good
new-
movies.
and they show free movies and they for kids and
Oh,
stuff.
that's
It's a
all they-
Wednesday
so
morning
They don't
thing.
show regular movies
No,
anymore.
no. They only
No.
show free movies certain times.
Yeah, Wednesday at 10 a.m.
And I think it's only during when school's out.
Yeah,
Am I
that's right. It's a summer movie program.
Oh, okay, okay.
But they played top rate movie. I just went and saw one the other day. What was that? Steven Spielberg went out. Disclosure Day.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw Michael down there recently. So
Yeah. It's a really cool it's a really cool movie theater, and it's mom and pop owned, and more people should go down there. It's a decent movie theater. It's a nice movie theater.
Yeah,
it is.
So I think more people should support it. That's the thing is that if you don't support these local things, then you lose them, right?
Well, people complain that Circleville doesn't have a theater anymore, but I don't know if Circleville would support it.
Right.
I don't
Especially
know.
that small one.
Right.
So in other words, people, go down to Danbarry Theater in Chillicothe. Check it out.
It's
Watch
a nice
movie.
movie theater.
It is. They keep
So
it
I go
clean.
down there now instead of going to Grove City. I know the Grove City one's got an IMAX and stuff like that, and IMAX is pretty cool. But it's only for those really good movies that I want to see IMAX.
So my movie theater
Uh-huh.
to go to is the Easton Theater, due to the fact of those large reclining leather chairs that you get to sit in.
Those are
It's
nice.
like sitting on a couch, your feet up, you're sitting back. It's like you're home watching it, and you don't really even realize there's people next to you. I think the only thing better than that would be the first time I watched a movie in Bryant Park in New York City. I watched Singing in the Rain in '96 in Bryant Park. Got there, and Bryant Park is it's in the 40s. It's behind the New York City Library in Manhattan, big library, and you're in the middle. You're in the middle of Midtown Manhattan, and you don't even realize that you were in the middle of Midtown Manhattan watching a movie in a park with thousands of people sitting all around you in the grass on blankets
Yeah.
and whatnot. It was Amazing.
Is
Amazing.
it a drive-in?
No, it's just in the park. It's just like you sit there and put a blanket out and get there.
Okay.
Get there when the sun's out and
Well, they
waiting
do
for
that
it to
down
come
here
down.
to Ted Lewis.
Right, but we're talking about
Yeah,
in the middle of Midtown Manhattan.
Wow.
And you don't even hear the traffic, the sirens, you don't. Yeah, it's
The robberies that are going on.
Right.
Speaking of that, I went to the drive-in last weekend.
You got robbed?
No,
Oh.
but
You're
no,
talking about
no.
the South Flea Market
The
drive-in?
South Drive-In, and I went to. I usually go over to Lancaster to the Skyview.
Skyview is really good.
Very good, family oriented. And so is South High, but the atmosphere was just so much different. I mean, there were sirens and police helicopters, and we heard gunshots, and
The movie was outside the movie, is what you're saying.
and it was like, when the gunshots, and there was no mistaking that's what they were. And we kind of booked out of there a little bit. We didn't stay for the second movie.
So what you're saying is go to Lancaster.
Go to Lancaster. Yeah, whole different ball game there. But it's
That's
always
again
fun.
another one that's owned by mom and pops, still going and stuff. Real cool.
And it's just something neat about just sitting out there, like under.
And I've been through a
stars.
drive-through once, drive-in once. It wasn't really my cup of tea to sit in my car and watch a movie.
Well, no, you don't sit in your car. I take a lawn chair and we sit.
Yeah,
in
you sit on your hood.
And
Yeah, that was back in the old days, because half the speakers don't work, either one of them.
Well, you
Well,
put them
you
on the
put 'em
radio.
on the radio. yeah.
And you sit outside the car, and we take our lawn chairs, and of course you got to have a food permit now. If they want you to buy a food permit so you can take your own food in. Well, I ain't doing that crap. I'm taking my own.
Just like the
popcorn.
yard sales. You're just
So
gonna do it, right?
driving people,
Break the rules.
take a look at his picture here. He is not paying for a food permit. Post it up on your door so when he comes to the drive-in, you can get him.
Hey, I'll pay $12 to get in there for 2 movies, but I'm not buying their pizza. I'll take my own Domino's and a bag of popcorn.
Before they did the whole, they paid for a certain amount per car. They used to pay per person, and we used to put people in the trunk.
Yeah, we did that too.
Yeah, we did that too. Because I grew up with a. That was one thing that we did have.
They had
in Maine.
drive-ins in Canada?
No, we did. We had a movie theater.
Circleville had 2 drive-ins.
It's gone
at one
now.
time.
But
We
and
had
so
one-
I really respect the one that they have in Lancaster and stuff like that because
They
I think
keep
it's
it
really
clean,
cool.
but that ownership did change. Yeah.
What else we got going on?
So a really cool thing. Local girl just won Miss Teen.
Oh, yeah? Who's this local girl?
So her name is I don't want to butcher it. Cicely Esterline. So her mom was on council.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I've actually interviewed her at some of the local festivals where she ran for Queen and stuff like that. So yeah, that's a big deal. I mean, that's a big deal. It's for her, and it's a big deal for the area and stuff like that. She won $2,500, and she's going to be prepping for the national stage now. She'll go to and she'll compete there.
So how old of a teen is she? Like high school?
Yeah, high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Pretty neat.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely neat. I think that's really, really cool.
What else we got?
So that's what I got.
That's all we got?
Well, I think we talked about yard sale for long. You want me to talk more about yard sales?
You think we talked about yard sales
Hey.
for long? Jeez Louise.
Fouchy, tell me a little bit about, we talked about the 2 different open mics in Chillicothe. Where are you going to be coming out?
Actually, tomorrow night there's one in Piketon that I'm going to go to. It's the first time they've ever done one at the Grove, I think's the name of it. Pacey Arledge is going to host it. It's her first one. She is has really come a long way because she had very bad depression and she just didn't want to live anymore, and she got into this comedy and she has turned herself around and she's doing these things. She's doing karaoke, she's doing DJing, and she's going to host this open mic. But then on Thursday, I think it's the first and third Thursday every month at the Cross Keys, there is a comedy open mic as well as a podcast with Josh Richter and
Probably not as good as our
Cody
podcast.
Deddy.
Probably not.
And they do it. Yeah, it's not as good as yours. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, it's
I
pretty
seen
good.
that eye roll, did you?
It is pretty good. But then every Monday they do it at the Cross Keys at 9:00, and then every, I think, second Wednesday of every month they'll do an open mic at Dickie's Barbecue on Western Avenue.
Where are you going to be at? Tell the people where you're going to be
Right,
at.
so they can go down there and be offended by you.
Okay, I'll be by Piketon at the Grove tomorrow night, and then at the Cross Keys Tavern on
What about next week? Where are you going to be next week?
next week. I'll be at Cross Keys on Monday. I go to like the same ones. I'm just practicing, okay? And then next week, I think there's one down in Jackson at the Stock Room, which is always a very
And that's
good
what
one.
you're going to try to do that next week?
Yeah, we're going to try to do that, but I got to
Okay.
check the date. Don't quote me on if that's the correct date or
Well,
not.
look out there, everybody. Look out there for these open mics, because you might catch Fouch there in
Yep.
Chillicothe, Piketon, Jackson.
And there's tons of them in Columbus. I may go to every now and then, but the group around here, everybody is so supportive of one another. And when you go to these bigger cities, they're not so supportive. It's more of a competition. And if you tell a great joke, they're not going to laugh at it because. But there's a lot of times when people laugh. I don't even have to.
But a
say
lot of
it.
these
Sounds like
places,
it
like
gets a
you
little
said-
catty out there.
Yeah, but a lot of these places are free and stuff, so you might as well go down there and enjoy some
every
free
open
comedy.
mic. Every open mic is free.
That's
All you got to
awesome.
do is pay for. You could go. I went up to the Attic one time, and it's up in Columbus. It's a great venue, and there were like 23 comics, and it went on for 2.5 hours. All you do is pay for your drinks, whatever you want to drink.
It's a great date night.
Where are you going to get 2.5 hours worth of entertainment for nothing,
Yeah.
other than your drinks?
Sounds
And
great.
it's going to be a little higher than McDonald's, but you're going to pay $4 or $5 for a beer, or pop, or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Well, be on the lookout for some open mics. Maybe you might catch Fauci at them. This was an interesting yard sale episode of the Week in Review
That's what you
with
get.
Richie
You
and
guys
Jeremy.
do it. You do it.
It's been great, guys. Thank you for joining us. This was episode 20 of the Week in Review with Richie and Jeremy. Don't forget, you could also follow and watch us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, YouTube, and
Roundtown Radio.
with Flounder. Shout out to Flounder. Hey, we'll see you next week. Don't forget, next week we're going to have a special celebrity guest in studio with us for our big 21st extravaganza.
You can finally drink, right?
When you turn 21. We can't then until then. So tune in. We'll see you then. Have a great night, guys.
See ya.